you guys pictures.
Call this session to order. On behalf of the Volunteer Secretariat, I warmly welcome you to this opening ceremony of the National MUN United Nations 2011. My name is Ronnie Heinze, and I will have the honor to serve as your Secretary General for this conference. Let me begin this opening ceremonies by introducing the President of the Board of Directors of the National Collegiate Conference Association, who is the sponsor of this conference, Professor Jake Raitan, to convey his words of welcome.
Thank you, Ronnie. Please join me in a moment of silence to honor all of the victims of the recent disasters in Japan, and to offer our hopes and prayers to their families and fellow countrymen. Also, please join me in a moment of silence to honor all of the people in the Middle East and North Africa who have been injured or killed as a result of the recent and ongoing political turmoil. Thank you. One final comment. Your generation is often criticized for being overparented, unwilling to work hard, and too often demanding that you be the center of attention. I don't buy into that criticism, but you know what? Prove the critics wrong this week. Work hard, be creative, and remember what Robert Kennedy used to say so often, everyone can make a difference and everyone should try. So I am charging all of you this week to make a difference. Thank you again.
At this time, it is my distinguished pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker. Born in the capital of Kinshasa, in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, he arrived in the United States in 1987 on an academic scholarship to attend Georgetown University in Washington, D.C. In his second year in Georgetown, he was invited to try out the university's renowned basketball team. After joining the team, he redirected his medical school ambitions and graduated with dual degrees in linguistics and diplomacy. He is fluent in 9 languages, including 5 African languages. He is a 4-time NBA Defensive Player of the Year and ranks first in NBA rebounds per game. Honored with USA Weekends magazine Most Daring Athlete Award, he has long been dedicated to improving the health, education, and quality of life for the people in his birthplace, the Democratic Republic of the Congo. He is the first youth emissary for the United Nations Development Program and funder of the Dikembe Mutombo Foundation that aims to fight childhood diseases. Please join me in welcoming our keynote speaker, Dikembe Mutombo.
Thank you, Secretary General, for this kind of introduction. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, teachers, and students. I'm honored to be here today will follow you for the National Model United Nations Conference, which is taking place in one of my favorite cities in the world. Many of you might wonder, why was I called to address this conference tonight? So allow me to refresh your memory about this. Graduating from Georgetown University in 1991, I entered the NBA to play professional basketball. Even at that time, I came to realize that playing basketball was not just for me to celebrate my fortune. In my heart, I did hear the major concern of what was happening in the world around me. I also played professional basketball while here in New York, and I never forget the kindness of the people of this great city. It's wondering why the United Nations have its headquarters here. There are people in New York who came from every corner of the world speaking different languages and who bring riches and diverse culture in this vibrant city. I hope you realize that the world is changing every day and is having an impact in the future. The world is becoming smaller and smaller due to social media such as Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, as you know. The internet has opened up the new world of communication, interaction among people just like you. Almost everyone has a cell phone today. I think anyone in this room has a cell phone. And computer and technology are becoming more advanced each day. As a result of today's technology, you cannot possibly have one part of the world that is not connected to the other part. So every part of the world is so connected. And for you to know what is happening in other part of the world would be such ridiculous. The news is in the real time, and the things are being reported 24 hours a day. Recently, we have witnessed the collapse of major financial institutions, several wars, and devastating natural disasters, such as earthquakes in Haiti in January 11, and tsunami in Japan just a couple of weeks ago. We are also witnessing the effect of the difficulties in global economy and emerging countries like China and India, which are dominating our world today. There are about 1.8 billion people in the world under the age of 15 years old. And today, as we suffer from the downturn on the economy, we will continue to see the discontent of the young people around the world. Young people who are students like you, who want a better life and a better future for themselves. We are already witnessing that the failure to include young people in the social and political process is likely to continue the cycle of the political instability, ethnic tension, revolts, growing discontent that has already affected many countries. As a city leaders, we have the responsibility to provide you with the necessary tool to be a good and effective leader. Leader who can communicate with the world, not with the weapon. Leader who can teach, but also learn from you. In this world of Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr., as I said, our life begin to end the day we become silent about the things that matter. 2 years appointed as a global ambassador for the NBA. This position have afforded me to the unique opportunity to travel around the world, and I have been to almost every continent in this planet except Australia and Antarctica. The NBA Basketball Without Borders camp, which I have been part of for so many years, is a primary example of how sport can unite young people of different cultures, languages, and backgrounds. Basketball Without Borders teach basketball instruction, but it also promotes friendship, healthy living, drug prevention, education. I'm honored to work with the United Nations and the NBA to promote the goodwill around the world and to use the sport of basketball as a language for global peace. Seven years ago, I was appointed as the first youth emissary for the United Nations Development Program. During one of my trips, I traveled to Durban, South Africa, to participate in the 13th International AIDS Conference, where I advise young people and young women like you to act responsibly and recognize the devastating impact that HIV/AIDS is taking in their life and their communication every single day. As the Old Testament said, my people perish because of lack of knowledge. At that point, there was a United Nations report which said that countries such as South Africa and Zimbabwe, HIV/AIDS was said to claim the life of around half of all 15 years old. The United Nations and the Global Health Council have reported that if this terrible disease is not brought under the control, more than half of 15 years old living in the sub-Saharan of Africa will be infected with HIV/AIDS before they enter the most productive life. Do you know that 65% of African population is under the age of 15 years old? I know that no one is talking about the HIV/AIDS right now, but the problem have disappeared just because no one is talking about it. How can we talk about the development of the countries if we cannot improve the health status of its people? I created the Dikembe Mutombo Foundation in 1997 because I believe that people can improve their life when the level of health improves. People must also have the minimum of health to have a hope for improving the economy life. This is why the Dikembe Mutombo Foundation and I have built this new general hospital in my homeland of the Democratic Republic of Congo on a cost of $30 million, which I donate more than $22 million. Since opening this door in 2007, the Marriott Mutombo Hospital have treated more than 65,000 patients, and each day more than 100 COVID striking patients arriving in emergency room, and more than that in our patient clinic.